Hello everyone, and welcome to Crafting with Amy. Today I'm going to be making a Deco Mesh wreath. This is you'll need a 12-inch wreath frame. They have these at Dollar Tree. I'm going to use this cross or maybe another one. I'm using white Deco Mesh and the ruffle method. I have 6 of these. I'm not sure how much it'll take, but I wanted it all white, and then I wanted to use this ribbon and possibly the natural ribbon, and then I need to mix some paint because I don't have that colored paint to paint the cross to get it that color. I have some agave and some green. I'm hoping that'll work, and then distress it with some darker color. You need pipe cleaners, a rotary cutter, and wire cutters or scissors, because this is going to be cut at 20 inches. It's 6 inches. It's not the greatest. It frays a lot, so I'm trying a method that will prevent fraying, and I saw this method on Michelle Smith Creations. I think it's ruffle or cruffle. So I will move all this and then get to it. Okay, I have cut a few pieces at 20 inches because I'm not really sure how much it's going to take. So once you do that with the curled side up, you want to overlap by about 1 inch. Kind of hard to tell with this. Press it down. Well, and then fold it over while still pressing it down. And then just do your normal scrunching up in the middle like a ruffle. Get your pipe cleaner. And there will be frays that you're going to have to cut. And depending on how full you're going to want this to be. See, I have a lot of... But it's probably best to do that at the end. But you're going to want to attach it to the middle two here. Just turn it over. Give it some good twists. Push it down. And like I said, you know, there will be things you're going to have to go back and cut. Righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. I always have a hard time remembering that. So depending on how full you want it, that will depend on how many you attach per crossbar. Righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. What if it was lefty-tighty, righty-loosey? I mean, does it really matter in the big scheme of things? So you're just going to, I would say this is probably going to hold 6 or 7, this one crossbar. And we're going to be adding, like I said, some ribbon and stuff to it, so I'm going to cut this as I go along. Normally, actually I had cut some at 12 inches, 6 rows. And then I was like, duh, that's the wrong length. So I had to get more. And I was going to try the ruffle method, but again, with this Dollar Tree mesh, it's just not as easy. So I'm going to cut this a little bit at a time and do it as I go. And then with the 12-inch that I cut, I will probably cut that into 6 inches and make a petal fold for another project. But I wanted to get this one done because it has a cross, and that's the true meaning of Easter, and Easter's sneaking up on me. So but I can keep something like that up year round. So cut your mesh at 20 inches, either with scissors. You can also take a piece of cardboard, cut it 20 inches, or foam, wrap it around, cut it with scissors at both ends. Fold it over an inch, push it down, flip it over. I'll come back after I've gotten some more cut and I've gotten a little bit further along and show some more folds, or show the folds again. But just go ahead and get your mesh cut at 20 inches. You can use a ruler, scissors, rotary cutter, whatever you have on hand. Okay, I have to get more. This is 6 rows, and I haven't even finished the first crossbar. Or not 6 rows. What am I talking about? This is 2 rows, and I still haven't gotten to that first crossbar. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more to go. So I have 4 rows left. I've got to get more. So I'm going to continue with what I have, and then once I get close to here, I'll stop or come back and show the fold a few more times and how to go about. But I have these scrunched pretty close together because I want it full, because it's white and I don't want that wreath form to show. Now they do have silver wreath forms. Ours didn't, but some of them do. So that would have helped. But I am scrunching them pretty tight, and then I twist the ends and then push them up so they won't scratch a door or something. So I'll be back when I get around here. Okay, so I'm back to show the fold again. I'm trying to talk as I'm doing it so I don't get distracted, but apparently I forgot because I'm used to doing voiceovers. So again, you take that, you fold it over by about an inch, hold it down, flip it over, hold it in the center there. And then you start scrunching. And honestly, I realized I put way too many on this. I mean, when I went to put the ribbon in, it was so tight, I had a hard time getting the ribbon. So it wouldn't take as much as what I used. So just keep that in mind. Because if you're going to add other things, it makes it really hard if you make it too full. And earlier I had said that I had thought about doing the ruffle method. which is what this is. What I meant to say, I considered doing the poof method. But again, with this color mesh, I would have had to have used 2 rows at a time, and it just would have tangled up together, and so I chose to go with this method. But once you hold it down, flip it over, and then start scrunching from the middle. It's best to use both hands, but I guess my hands aren't long enough. I don't know. And then these pipe cleaners are cut at 1/2 inch. So just attach the pipe cleaner, secure it. And in the video, the short video that I took of this, the color looks, the cross looks different, but in the pictures it looks correct. So there is, I put way too much on there. So I have finally gotten the mesh all on the wreath. It ended up taking 6 rolls, and as I had mentioned before, I had messed up my first go around. I cut 6 rows at the wrong length, so I'm gonna have to end up doing something different. I can do something different with that. I already have an idea, but they had 2, they were the same, but they had different labels on them, and one was kind of like in a different area. The ones that had the Easter decor, those were good. The ones that had the brown, it had a green wrapper, it was mangled. So I don't know how many, so that's a total of 12 that I got, but I'll use the other 6 for something else. Now I'm going to paint the cross, and then I'll cut the ribbon and place the ribbon down in the wreath. I'm not going to bother with that hole because I'm going to cover it, but I have to try to get my paint to match this ribbon, and I don't have that color paint, so I'm going to take some green. I'm just going to experiment. I am going to take this hanger off, and hopefully the sticker will come off, because I'm going to paint the front and the back. You could cover the back of this, and I probably will once you get a hanger on it. Cover the back. I tried to twist the pipe cleaners down so they wouldn't scratch a door or something like that, but once I get the hanger on it, you could cover it with felt, you could cover it with foam board, anything, just to protect your door. But that came off, didn't leave any residue. This is the front. So I gotta try to get some paint. So I'm gonna try this blue cotton by Apple Barrel mixed with some green. I got some agave. But it already has, I don't know, if I have to, I'll mix that too. What did I do with the green? Oh, there it is. This is English Ivy Green. I don't have a whole lot of greens, so I don't want to do much, just to try it. I want to get this painted and then let it dry and cut the ribbon. And I'm trying to decide if I want to put the natural burlap and that color green or whatever. I really don't know what that is. Okay, so that's not enough. Oops, that's probably too much. And it may not be the right tone of green. I'm going to try to get this right and then I'll be back. Okay, I used the cotton blue, or blue cotton. I added the ivy green. I ended up adding some of the agave. My agave is dried up. I think I've come pretty close though. I even put King's Gold in here. So, yeah. This is my little paint concoction. And I'm hoping, I think it's pretty close. So that's a weird color green. I like it, but that's a, you know, there's so many tones in that. But we shall see. And hopefully it'll, when it dries down, it'll so I'm not gonna have you watch me painting this. I'll just paint it and come back, and while it's drying, do the ribbon. Still trying to decide if I want to do the natural and the green, or just the natural. So I'll be right. Okay, so while the paint is drying, I just tried a sample. I don't have this in here permanent. These were cut at 8 inches and I crisscrossed them, and I'm just trying to decide, and I've just put a pipe cleaner through there. I'm just trying to decide if I just want to do the green or do some that are just green. If I need it, I don't know. And I just want to space them out, you know, throughout. So, I don't know. I think I want to do 2 green together and maybe some of this together. I don't know if I need them to be a little bit longer. I think that's good. So I'm just gonna take this out, and I will trim this up after I'm done, because they do get, you know, this thing's huge. It won't even fit in my camera. So I think I'm gonna cut the green at 8 inches, dovetail the ends, and do 2 pieces together instead of the burlap and that. But then I may make some burlap and put in there as well. I'm not crazy about the 2 together like that. So hold on, and we will cut the yarn. I've been crocheting too. Okay, so I'm gonna cut some of this ribbon at 8 inches. I'm trying to show you all. And I'm gonna use my scissors. That's 8. I don't know how many bundles of this I'll make. Why am I doing it that way? I'll be dovetailing the end, so have to be perfect. So I've cut 10 of these and 10 of the natural. I'm going to cross them over and pinch them in the middle. Because I want kind of a So I'm going to make these and then put them in the wreath and hopefully dovetail them right. Okay, I don't know what happened to that footage. I left the pipe cleaners the full length, and when I attached those together, and I have found spaces to go in between the mesh around a bar where I can attach them. I left my camera running for a long time and was just doing everything else under the sun in the house, and when I realized it and then I deleted some of that, I think this is part of what I deleted. So that's what I'm doing. I'm taking, you use full length pipe cleaners to go around that ribbon because you have that mesh to get through, and then I'm pulling it through to the back, just spacing them however you want to space them. I'm putting a green and then a natural, and then finding a bar to attach them to and getting them real tight. And when I was talking earlier about covering the back, I was talking about covering that after you put a hanger on, covering the wire form. So ideally it's best to make a template of that before you add all of this. If you have another 12-inch or 14-inch wreath form, you can do that, or you can just cover it with some felt and a hot glue gun. I used a pipe cleaner for the hanger. I just attached it to the bar back there. So I'm still adding my ribbon, and this thing is so big. Again, you wouldn't have to use this much. I went a little overboard on it. I just wanted to make sure that you couldn't see the wreath form through it. But I put a little bit too much, I think. But it's huge. It's pretty. I think it's pretty. I ended up dovetailing the ends before. I should have done that to begin with. I went ahead with the rest of the ribbon and dovetailed the ends by just folding it over and clipping upwards. But I have a bad habit of cutting the wrong way, and it'll make it a point. So I did that on the first one, and then I realized, I'm like, okay, I just need to dovetail all these ends before I put them together in little bundles. I didn't want to put anything like Easter eggs or anything like that on this. And I apologize, I'm out of frame. This thing is just huge, but that's all I'm doing. I'm taking that long pipe cleaner working it down through that mesh and finding a bar to attach it to, and then cutting it off. Well, twisting it around the back, cutting it off, and then folding it down. But I left my camera going for like, I think an hour. I wasn't even, and normally it'll freeze up, but it didn't. It freezes up when I don't want it to, and then it does when, oh wait, maybe that's backwards. I don't know. If I leave it going and don't realize it, it won't freeze up. But if I'm in the middle of doing something, it'll sometimes freeze up on me, so that's why I'm not talking here. I don't realize, I don't think that I left this thing going, and then like I said, I went and did other things in the house, and so I'll be back to put the cross on. Okay, now I have painted the cross, and again in this lighting it doesn't look the right color, and I'm back to my old habits. I was thinking, okay, I'm going to be doing a voiceover, which right now I am, because in some of this I talked as I was doing it because that was my plan, and then I forgot because it's an old habit. But I took some Waverly Antique Wax and went around that cross just to kind of distress it. And now I have these little paper flowers that I got from Dollar Tree that I'm going to put on the cross, and then I'm going to put those on the center of the ribbons where the pipe cleaner shows. And then I just glue the cross to the mesh in the front. It does fine. I glue it at the top, the bottom, the sides, and make a hanger out of a pipe cleaner for the back. But you really wouldn't even have to do that. You could use the actual bar unless you cover that up. Thank you all for watching, and you all have a good day and good weekend.